So, tell us how you balance your masculine and feminine energy, even though you're living so much in the feminine space for your job.
Yes, and it's interesting too. I think this part of my life now, because I grew up so masculine, I even questioned why I wasn't a boy growing up, and
Me too.
um, I used my femininity as a tool or as a weapon, if you want to go real shadowy on it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but that even saying that came from my masculinity. Well, I'll use these attributes to get what I want. That's yang. That's masculine, and it worked in being successful in business, and yet it wasn't truly honoring the divine feminine. It was
How
almost
so?
it was almost desecrating the feminine. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll use my looks, or I'll use my my powerful high heels or
Yeah,
whatever to
your body,
my body to
as a
yeah
weapon.
yeah to get what I want. And again, it was part of how we survived, or how we grew up, or how we
Yep.
felt that we mattered or had self-worth. And yet the shadow side was my inner child's like, I'm not this, and how dare you use me for this, or compromise me in any way, even if it wasn't physically compromising. It was maybe just energetically compromising, like just walking with with that kind of stature, like
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't, she's like, this isn't authentic, this isn't who I came here to be. And so going through the dismantling of my ego stories and attachments, and really going into that humbling and surrendering with my inner child, is when I learned how to nurture myself. Because most of us, like I mentioned, did not grow up with that nurturing mother figure. So I learned how to be the ultimate mommy to myself. And I am kind of mommy for a lot of people, but I don't have physical children. So, and Source even said, um,
The world are your children.
yeah, Source said the reason it was decided not to have children was so many people come to you as children. To have a child would take away
Yes.
from many. So yes, I love all my babies. And so, but I had to learn how to nurture and mother myself in a healthy way, because I didn't have that. I didn't have that with grandmothers, and my mom didn't know how to nurture herself, so it was hard for her to, and she even admitted it. She's like, you're asking me to give you something I know nothing about. And I was like, wow, she is being so honest and
Mm.
and sharing her truth right now. And I get to honor that. And so many years I resisted it, and why can't you just love me the way I want to be loved, and
Mm.
resentment, and it wasn't until I learned how to parent myself. And so that was the main conduit to learn how to embrace my divine femininity, um, and being vulnerable, and learning that vulnerability is a strength and not a weakness. That was also something that is a corrupted code or program in our collective,
Mm-hmm.
and hiding that. And it's like, no, my vulnerability, my ability to be authentic and raw and real with my clients, allows them to be raw and real with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, compassion, I needed to learn compassion for myself first and foremost before I could have compassion for others. And those are the mainstays of the allowing the divine femininity, and my divine masculine with the healthy limits and boundaries. That part takes care of my feminine, as it
Mm.
should be, not dominating, not
Mm-hmm.
not obligating, and not compromising, but complementing.
Complimenting,
Yes,
complimenting. Thank you. Beautiful,
complementing.
beautiful word. So how long did it take you to kind of get there from when your mother and grandmother said, "I'm so sorry, I can't give you what you need," and you said you had to learn how to mother and parent yourself, and then that led you to being able to develop your own empowered divine feminine. How much time are we talking here? Like
I was
years, decades, or like,
no, it
okay.
was a few years, but I mean, I took my healing on like it was my mission, because it
Yeah.
was
Well,
like
it's your
everything.
work, it's your job.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, and I
Your
didn't
life.
know that it was going to be my life's work. I
Hmm.
just knew
Oh.
that I couldn't um, live with the anxieties and
Hmm.
the
Hmm. Hmm.
the stress and the fear. I mean, I woke up every morning for years, Amy, with clenched jaw, I cracked a wisdom tooth from the inside out.
I was just going to say grinding your teeth, I'm sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I would wake up with nail marks in my palms from just
Oh,
going to battle, like almost breaking skin. And I just like, I can't, and it was,
yeah.
I mean, this was
Wow.
like maybe, what is it now? So it was about 10 years ago that it stopped. And
Oh, wow.
about 10, 11 years ago now. And I remember that morning, and I had lived with this. I had anxieties as a child, and they tried to medicate me, and I was a zombie for like 2 days. And I'm like, I can't take this. I have to go to school. And so I just lived with it as the rest of my family had lived with it for years. And I remember I was around 35 or 36, and I had gone through my divorce, and I woke up and I could feel that pain, like someone just punched you. Like I could feel that energy coming, that anxiety coming back in, and that tension. And I didn't even open my eyes, and I just laid there and I said, I don't believe in this anymore. And it was gone. And I never woke up like that again.
That's beautiful.
You
I
can
don't believe in this anymore.
I don't believe in this anymore. Again, because all beliefs are untrue. So what beliefs do you want to make true? What serves you? Because if they're all untrue anyway, I say you might as well write a story that you like, that serves you, that makes you happy, that brings you peace and joy and love. And
Right
so
on.
it was choosing out of fear for so many years. It becomes an addiction. Fear was my ultimate addiction.
And a habit. It becomes a habit,
yeah.
the way of thinking and believing, and energy has habits. Like you wake up and you remember who you are. Oh yeah, I'm the person who's a spaz and is overworked and always late. And you know what I mean? Like I'm over busy and
Yeah. And exactly. And
habit.
that's what I mean, that habitual reaction, because that part of us that grew up believing that false belief, again, it's all beliefs are untrue, has repeated so many times. Like you said, it becomes habitual. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Well, this is who I am because this is what I was told, or this is what I told myself I had to be years ago. And so let's just keep going. And that's where the inner child will come and blow shit up. Your inner child will kick your ass, I say, or they'll enroll other people to kick your ass, whatever it is, to make it uncomfortable enough that you start to surrender. And it's much easier to surrender to your inner child than to surrender to what? Like some people have a very distorted God model. So it's like, well, I'm not surrendering to that. I didn't like that God model. It scared me growing up. So I was just like, I'm scared and confused and I'm lost. And I just would cry. I'm like, something, someone, somewhere, universe, help me. And that's how I got into this work. But it took me hitting that, brick wall, so to speak. In order. And so I say we will all be interrupted at some levels, whether it's, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, intuitively, all of the above, a combination thereof, however it needs to look. Or you can be more graceful with yourself, choose to participate with your own healing, and you can bypass having to be interrupted at those levels. And most of us have already gone through plenty of suffering. We've just, mitigated it or numbed it out to a certain extent, but it will continue to get bigger, more in your face, more uncomfortable until we complete that lesson. Otherwise, it'll just keep repeating.